Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. Today we will set up a company hierarchy, and probably the accounting details also. But before that, before even you start a company or a cost center or an organization setup, you would need a reorg setup. Now, what is a reorg? A reorganization is nothing, a place where you capture all the transactions of a company. In terms like what? Translation, not operation. Translation like when it was set up, when it was assigned to a company hierarchy, when the roles were assigned, all those activities, basically not even translation. What is not correct? Activities is like you can capture what happened to a company when it came into existence, on which date who assigned the company to company hierarchy. Like an audit trail, basically we can say, of the companies. For that we have to go to a task called create reorg. Now this is what it's the little freeze. It's better. This will be the first task, and we will need organization all the time, reorg all the time. Whenever we will create a new company, a cost center, we will need this. We will create reorg. Reorg. Let's think of a unique name. Let me think. Let me see, Samart is also there. Blinkit. Let's talk about Blinkit. Blinkit Reel. And the reorganization date will put as why the reorg date is important here. The reorg date is important because everything what will happen after this date would be captured here. Suppose you put 1800 and not 1900, means anything which happened after 1800, that will be captured in the system. I'm telling the system is that I'm creating a reorg under which I want to capture all of my company transactions or activity. Sorry. And that would be effective 0,190 minutes. Anything which happened to a company whenever it was set up, when it was assigned to a company hierarchy, please add the update as 1900 here. We'll just say here. Now once that is done, we'll click on these three dots, or three dots will go to integration. ID will click on this added reference ID. Now this is a system generated ID reference. ID like as you can read the word reference. Workday is referencing this value with this number. We need this reference ID values. We'll see some examples in our accounting capital. Then when we load accounting journals in book, at that time you would need this to say this is the reference ID or this is the ID. You should look into the system. We'll tell the system that this is the value you should look for. The system will not understand the text and everything. Specific instances, there we have to define this reference ID. And whenever we set up a company, a customer, a supplier will change their reference ID. There's something happening with the connection. It's been lost, it's come again. It's back. We'll just say again linkit_reorg like this. We'll change it. Will it here? Reorg is done. Now we'll get the company hierarchy. We'll say create company hierarchy. Reorg, as you can see, the moment you will create a company and execute a company, it will ask for the reorg. We'll just put link it here. And by default, you will see the system would capture the effective data or the availability data 0 as was in 19. That date which we had given in reorg here. We'll name it like blanket holdings. Company hierarchy, and the code for this company hierarchy. We'll say blanket holding company hierarchy, BHC or BHC, whatever you want to call it. And subtype include code in the name means bring this code whenever we'll search this name in the search bar. Show up this name also. Show up this code also before the name. Subtype would be a company. Visibility is everyone. Now we'll hit, and remember we have to do this code in the reference ID also. Let it come. We'll click on these three dots or related action here. Integration ID and its reference ID. And we'll call it as BLC. Rahul, a quick question. Even though it's system generated, you can give a custom reference ID. There is no such restriction, but normally it's very lengthy. And typically if you are running the integration and the report and you copy pasting it, it's fine. But sometimes when you remember the code, it's easy. You can directly go in Google's here and just put the small codes and works. But you can also give the reference ID generated by working. There's no such thing. No worries. Any question from anyone far? Please stop me wherever you have any doubts, concerns, or not able to understand, or if I'm going very fast, let me know. I'll stop it here. Now we'll say create company. Then again you have to give a row BHC. 1 second. It was linked. By default it will pick the, we'll say link it. Gross stream. Delete. And we'll just give a code BGC here. Include code in the name. Subtype would be company. Now I have a question here. You have given the name as holding Blinkit holding. What is this now? Third one. Blinkit grocery. That holding was the company hierarchy. The top level hierarchy under which we will assign this company. For example, you assign this to Blinkit Holding. Earlier, I created the company hierarchy. Now I am creating the company. Got and company currency USG. Now an important point here. This company currency, you have to be very careful. You have to put the right currency here. Because what happens is, if any transaction happens for this company, be it like your customer wise supply, or you post a manual accounting journal, or you use account posting rule set for this company, then you won't be able to change the company currency. While doing the implementations or configurations, make sure the company currency is correct. We have seen the cases where people did mistake and they were not able to change the company currency. It happens not during the city UD phase, because that time we are very much sure that what is the company currency. After go live, when you acquire a new company, starting a new company, and you're in a hurry, or the person who is doing that is in a hurry and they put a wrong currency, it will just not change once they hit a transaction. Be very careful with this company currency part. And the same code we'll have to give now in the code here. Our company setup will put on these 3 dots. We'll go to integration ID and reference ID. See. Now we'll add this company as our favorite. Now if you look at this security groups and roles here, it's blank here because we have not assigned anything on this company, not like APN and ERN, because we have not done even the entire setup here. Now security flows from top to bottom here. What it means that whatever you assign in the company hierarchy level will also get inherited to the company level also. I'll give you a demo in just few minutes from now. That whatever will assign at the company hierarchy holdings level, that will get inherited to the company level automatically. You don't have to do anything here. Now what other things should be? Now we'll add the contact details for this company. We'll say company. Again 3 dots. Company. I'll write company contact information. Let's add the IP address number here. And the phone device will say it's a mobile. And it's a primary means the main phone number for this company, and this would be used for your billing limit to and shipping. Red will just say 15th class or 100th class, whatever it is, under class. Hunt speed, wins, state of New York, host, let's say, and this is family here, And for what purpose this address would be used: billing, remit to shipping, mailing, street address, text reporting also. You can choose whatever the applicable options, and there is no restriction on how many addresses and phone numbers you can add. You can add unlimited numbers. I've seen 18 addresses, also 20 addresses also. There is no such restriction by working. Then we'll add the email, which is important. Link it. Add mail com. Family, billing and shipping. Procurement. Now you would see an address would show here. Organization here, and we can see the address here. Getting hang here, I'm not sure why, but earlier the address was not there. But address is reflected now here. Current state is USA. This is the phone number. Now we'll do some other things. Now we'll add the text ID details. Like, what is the text ID? Like in India, we have GST and VADs, right? Same like for any company, there would be a VAD ID or the session ID. Then there will be a session ID, and VAD IDs are different. Similarly, you can go to edit company text details here, and you will text ID here. Then you can add the text ID here. For example, United States. I'll say USA here. Text ID type. I'll say M-floor, ID number. I'll give some numbers here. And I would mark this as my primary text ID also. Remember this text ID here. Let me add the ownership details also. You can add the ownership details also. Like, who is the owner of a company? Basically, if you see startups these days, they don't get money from them, right? They get funding, seed funding, funding around the company. A, B, C, whatever it is, from big venture capitalist who holds a lot of money, who has a lot of cash. Those companies invest in the startups. They own the company, like Zomato, ATM. They are not owned by the Indian companies or Indian CEOs. They just work there now. The majority of the ownership or the stakeholder equity is owned by the Chinese companies or the Chinese capitalist people. That's why, like, who is the owner of a company? If you want, you can define an ownership here. Let's see here. US. Ownership is 100% here. Like, how much they own? They can be like 5, 6 partners also, 5 companies also who owns this company. Accordingly, you can define your ownership like 10%, 12%. Then how much income they would get from this company's revenue? Percent. Now let me see other things. If the table here per cubed options will discuss later on. It's a big option that will not right now. Can it come to come? ID definition is one thing we can do. This will take time. Let's do it. Right now you see here by default, if we create any custom invoice or document, this will show the number like this. What if you want to define your own numbers for transactions? Suppose you want to create a custom invoice and you want to start it like custom invoice 1001, 100230, 1004, like that. Or customer invoice hash blinket hash solder 10. If you want to customize that invoice number, this is the place you will do it. Let me just come to this customer contract and we'll go here, create ID definition sequence generator, here sequence name. We'll say blinket customer contract. We're just naming it right now. The exact word will start here, increment sequence ID by. After 1, what is next? Add 1 3, add 1 4, padding the gap between the numbers. I'll say 4 here. Sequence ID format, it will be like this. Customer invoice blinket hash sequence solves it. This is the format you have to use. You have to first define the name or the code, whatever you want. Then in black, you have to mention sequence, and after that things will start. If I remove C, 4 zeros are here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 after 2 zeros. If I remove 1 0, you see here. And if I just remove panning here 1, this will be like this. 100 after 0, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. Once like it ends 99999, if the number comes, if it has to restart, what will the restart frequency? Time-based reset frequency. We don't put it here normally. We restart number. No, we will not do that. Automatically not padding here. But remember, this is a customer contract. We just have to change it. I just customer contract. And then you can copy this and just create the ID sequence in it as here. Create ID definition sequence in it. And this is customer invoice. We will say bring in customer invoice. We will get customer invoice. It will go 30 by 1. And this was Q1, I believe, yes. And then we have to yes here like this. Customer invoice. A customer invoice will bring it. This will be Zauser. Then the customer invoice. We will talk about this later on. Let's create for the customer also. It's a little sense of coloring here. Increment sequencer by 1 padding 1. It will be supplier invoice. Bring it sorted. customer refunds. And then we have to check the customer's number, the format, or they want to use a different one. Rahul, quick question while doing bulk. Are they using some sort of flat file CSV? What are they using? They are using Excel files, the IB, secret generated. There's one of the IB also for this one. But the data, where is the data? They bring it. They are getting data from the client itself, but from legacy system. But is it in the form of flat file? Normally it would be flat file. I'm sorry, the IB is set right. Right, I understand. No word. Machine connections. The journals. No. And it will be here. And then purchase orders. Purchase orders. Because any point is the case order. Shipments option 0, that archers are acknowledgement. Inch. Once you possibly there. And again. Thank you. 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 This is done. We have done the IA generator configuration. Now we will do accounting setup. Add it to the accounting details. This is very important. For now, I will just select the values and then I will explain you one by one all the things. Let me quickly first of all set up values here. Q2. We should have already seen also, but that is fine. Standard code should be revamped here. This is not the right. Let me do something here. Go to an existing company. What is it? Look for the accounting details here and just copy the same. We use this one. When we send auditory cell phone, we go to clone its term approve. Maybe we could go back a little, shift it here, but maybe we Africa. Now let's talk about each of them one by one. Fiscal schedule. Fiscal schedule is nothing. Now few words would be a little bit different when we talk about in Workday. For example, months. We call them months January, March, April, May, June, July. These are months for us. We always call them months. In Workday, we call them as periods. January period, February period, March period, April period. A fiscal schedule is nothing but year, financial year. In financial year, you would have a year. If I just open this new tab, you can see a name of the fiscal schedule. The fiscal year, obviously every financial year would have a number. For example, 2022. This 2022 starts on 1st of January and ends on 31st of December. This is one thing. Now remember, there can be what you call it companies like in India who follow the financial year from 1st of April to 31st of March. Then you would create a different fiscal schedule because this is a US based company that we are creating right now. That's why we are following a fiscal schedule of 1/2/31. But for Indian companies, it would be somewhere around 1st of April to 31st of March. Now, this is like I just picked up automatically. It doesn't mean it will be always there. No, when you do implementations, you use build it from scratch, entire things, all these things from scratch. And how do you do that? I'll just show. You will not use it because this is a complicated one. I'll just show you how to create this fiscal schedule. Create fiscal schedule. Now this is a task create fiscal schedule. And you say demo fiscal schedule part 1 or fiscal schedule. Auto-populate fiscal periods. Now another fiscal schedule. You have to create fiscal year also. Create initial fiscal year. Now we have to keep the fiscal year for this one first. Here is the task. I didn't really shoot you. It was just clear. Yes, that's all I have to do is. It is done. Why it's not coming here? Fiscal. Should you find why my demo is not coming here? Let's debug that. Let's go. I mean the imposing into words. You have to give the official posting to a name like Jan. All those things. We have to create all this posting interest, like on which month you post the entries, and the period, as I said, is like your month. I was first. 3 alphabets are required. It's a standard one across different implementations, beat anything. Well, like always, usually always September. This is the third step. Now first create fiscal schedule. Second, you create what are the stars. Maintain fiscal schedule posting intervals. You create the months. Third, you come to this creation for school year. Fiscal year number, you will say 22 fiscal year name you again. You will just get the same here. Fiscal date will say 0192. And then first time you have to get this like, and it's 12 this month, we'll just say Jan, and we all know on 31st. This time it had 28 days. March, we all know it's 31 days. April, we know it's like 0430. May have 31 days. Really 31 to have 30 days. Is 30 days. Has 31 days. We are correctly, don't worry. The first time you have to give next time on what it will just get automatically because we had to be on that auto corporate fiscal schedule. That will do once great fiscal initial fiscal year. This is September 30 days. And November it's 11. December will just say 12. Christmas. Our fiscal year is done. Now if I go to the next fiscal year, great next fiscal year. Now you see the magic here. Fiscal should move dim of S. And by default, C does capture all the months and yet automatically. First time. You do this, after that every year, we just put the end dates automatically. Don't do anything, we just sit with me here. Now if you go to view fiscal schedule, you would say demo the first time you do this. You can see it has 2 years now. 2 to 23 starts on this one, when we start on this one and on this one. Clear with this? I'll just close this step here. The next one is account set. What is an account set? Account set is nothing but a collection of your letter, a place where you create all your letter. Cost that we open this new tab. Let it come completely. As you can see, it has 2007 leather accounts. These are the leather account numbers. These are the leather account names and income expense assets. These are different account types. The account types like basically your income expense, P&L, balance sheet accounts assets, library equity. Is everyone clear what is a leather account? What is an account set? What is the next down? Includes account set at PICS. Oh, it's nothing, is like a child account set. Sorry, a child account set. This would be a parent account set, and then you can have more accounts that underneath it. If you want additional child account sets, yes. If you open this app, it's here. This is just one leather account. Account set is this, and this is just only one leather. Maybe for special cases when you want to create a separate leather account set, that you can do and add it under the parent account set. But clear this part. If you want to create more accounts, then you can go and do it in the first one, right? Yes, I'll show you. And then we'll take a pause and we'll do the beginning and this tomorrow. For account set, the task again is very easy. And set. Here you'll get a name like, let's say, F's account set. And then again you can include account sets, whatever you want, and then you can get number here, like identifier, you can say 1001. I counted equity holding, and this would be equity. And like if you want to define it for a particular company, say it can be only used with blanket, then you can mention the leather account also. Link in the whole links and on. If you want to retire this inactive set account, click on this checkbox. And it here. Account set is ready. And then you go back and add more and more leather accounts. If you want to add more leather accounts, you go to account set, add it. And click on this one, add it here or this button here. And this time a small window pop up like this. And you will say account set. Account set is nothing but account name, let's say asset. This account type would be asset. And then you are done. This would be added here. Clear with this. Everyone. You can create like in assets. You can create fixed assets, current assets. Whatever you want. If you just look at the main account set that we are creating right now. Actually, let me hide this. If I just go back here and close it, if you open this account set, there are 2270 leather accounts in it. That did come. And you can see it's been used by 722 companies right now in the system. That's all you can see from here. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.